Hi there, my name's Simon from CramTheExam and welcome to another video where I walk you through another English exam question. In this video I'm going to have a look at the FCE First B2 listening paper, question 1. Multiple choice question based on 8 small listening exercises. This question you can find on the excellent and new to me website Virtual, I think that's how you pronounce it, virtuali.com, and you'll find the link to this website and to this exercise in the video description below the video. This website is full of resources to help you get ready for your English exam and full of exam practice. I really recommend it, and I'm glad that I found it and can tell you guys all about it. Okay, so we're going to have a look at this part 1 question. You know the usual rules. We're listening to understand the general context, find out what's going on, and try to find those vocabulary links that connect what's said in the listening to the correct answer. There are lots and lots of traps, and in this listening, this is actually quite hard for an FCE listening exam, so it's good that we've left this to the end. It will be, or close to the end of the course, it will be a good test of your English listening skills. So let's go through it and find out why the answers are the answers. For question number 1, you overhear a woman recommending a campsite. Why does she recommend it? Is it close to tourist attractions? Is it in an area of natural beauty? Does it have a wide range of facilities? Now, this is quite a tricky question because in this listening, she's comparing two campsites. So you've got to pick out that important piece of information that refers to the reason why she's recommending one over the other. Because about there's 2 sites. There's the Morvich site and there's another one. The Morvich site is not close to the castle, not close to the museum. So it's not A. She doesn't recommend it because it's close. She says it's not close. And she doesn't recommend it because the other site, has got a little shop and the showers are better. So in terms of facilities, she doesn't recommend it. She says the other place is better. What she does say, though, is that she wanted to be able to go for walks. Oh, let me just type in there. There was, she wanted to go for walks and enjoy the stunning views of the lake. You definitely wouldn't get that at the other site. So it's this idea of enjoying stunning views that links to the vocabulary of an area of natural beauty, and that's why the answer is B. Okay, for question number 2, it says here, you overhear 2 friends talking about global warming. How does the girl feel about it? Is she pessimistic about the future? Is she surprised at the effects it's having? Is she unconvinced that there's a problem? Now, there's a man and a woman speaking, so we can disregard pretty much what the man says as regards possible answers. So it's important in terms of context, not important in terms of answers. So let's go through what she says. She says there are strange things about the weather. So there are strange things happening, but not that she's surprised by them. There's no vocabulary in here to suggest surprise. As a matter of fact, there's vocabulary to suggest the opposite. She says there's nothing to worry about, really. Now, if you say that there's nothing to worry about, it means you think that there is no real problem. And that links to one of the answers, that she's unconvinced that there is a problem. Nothing to worry about. Because the man, and as I said, in terms of context, we've got to listen to what the man says. The man introduces the issue that there is a problem, and she says there's nothing to worry about. So she's unconvinced. And then the rest of what she says is about what happens in Cape Town. Her sister went, there were no waves. She went, there were plenty of waves. There's really nothing to do with the other 2 options. So that's why the answer is C. This idea, this vocabulary link between unconvinced and nothing to worry about, or nothing to worry about as regards global warming. For question number 3, you overhear a young couple talking about moving to the country. Let's just scroll up number 3. Why does the man object to the idea? Object means why doesn't the man like the idea? If you object to something, you say that you don't like it. Is it because he wouldn't be able to work there? Is it because he'd miss the facilities of the city? Is it because he wouldn't be near to his friends? Well, first of all, let's eliminate the wrong options. And we can do that by concentrating on the second part of the second thing that he says. He says, from the point of view of work, it might not be a bad thing. So he's saying, there'd be no interruptions from well-meaning friends dropping in for a chat at any time of the day. So first of all, he says he will be able to work, and he implies that he'll be able to work better because his friends wouldn't come round and disturb him. So from that point of view, we can rule out A and C straight away. He wouldn't be able to work there. Yes, he would. He'd be able to work there, maybe even better. He wouldn't be near to his friends. He says that this is actually a good thing, so it's not something that he objects to. So the answer is B. Why? Well, first of all, it talks about facilities. Facilities are introduced by the woman. She says going to the library or the gym. And then, of course, all of these facilities are in the city because they're moving to the country. And this idea of missing the facilities is highlighted when he says, you don't understand how important all that is for me, which suggests that this is important and that he wouldn't want to be without that. So from that, we can infer that he would miss this. So that's the reason why he's objecting or doesn't like the idea of moving to the country. For question number 4, you hear a radio program about food. Why should listeners call the program? To take part in a recipe competition, to find out about a cookery course, to ask questions about cooking. Now, number 4 starts off and it says, but this time, instead of talking about his award-winning books or TV cookery courses. So when you hear award-winning, you might think, okay, competition, and you might think you might hear TV cookery courses, and you think, okay, cookery courses. But this is wrong because the contexts are wrong. Remember, why should the listeners call the program? This is the question. And we can see that at the end. But are you still unsure about a few things? Phil will try to clarify any doubts you still may have. So whether it's how to cook a perfect boiled egg or how to organise a 5-course meal, now's your chance. Call us from 3 o'clock. So she suggests questions that you might have and then says phone in if you have these questions. So here the answer is C. For question number 5, it says, you hear the beginning of a program about college canteens, a place where you get food when you're at college or school. What's the point being made about them? Is it that the choice of food is improved? That students like the food on offer there? Or that teachers complain about the quality of the food? Tricky, this one, because everything's mentioned and you've got to be listening carefully. First of all, teachers complained about the quality of the food, but as a result of the previous food that was there in the canteen. And we can see this. It wasn't long ago that there were constant complaints about the lack of fruit and vegetables from teachers in particular as regards the previous availability of foods at the canteen. So it's not C. Students like the food on offer there. Well, it says here, perhaps not surprisingly, the students themselves say they miss the sweeter snacks. So they miss, let's say prefer, the sweeter snacks available in the food selection of the previous canteen. So the answer therefore is A. Why is the answer A? It says the survey shows that the increased variety of snacks is remarkable. In other words, remarkable is a positive adjective meaning surprising or something that's impressive, though the situation is still far from ideal. And then we've got that contrast with the previous system, and we've covered this already. It wasn't long ago that there were constant complaints about the lack of fruit and vegetables. So putting those two things together, you can see that the choice of food has improved and moved away from sweet snacks to healthier options. And that's why the answer is A. For question number 6, it says, you hear a young woman talking about her career. Why did she accept a job in the bookshop? Is it because she needed a steady income? No. Well, first of all, there's nothing in the text about a steady or a regular or a guaranteed income. The only thing that she says about income is that if she stayed working in the shop originally, she would have more money. So if she's actually losing money by working in the bookshop. Did she think it would be enjoyable? Not really, because she says, but whilst I was a bit uneasy about that job because I'm not that good at admin tasks. So she was a little bit worried before she started the job, not that she thought it would be enjoyable. So that means the answer is C. She hoped to improve certain skills. Why? And it's because she says, I could see that this was my chance to focus on those weak points, which she mentioned beforehand. In other words, the chance to improve the skills in which she is weak. And that provides our vocabulary links to C. For question number 7, it says you hear part of a program about a clothes designer. What does the woman like about the clothes he designs? So first of all, listen to the man in terms of context. It might be important, but don't listen to what he says in terms of the answers. So does the woman say that they're practical, that they're colourful, or that they're original? Well, she says that they're not practical. She mentions everyday materials, but for dresses that would be out of place anywhere except the catwalk. Translated, that means you would only see these dresses on the catwalk, not in everyday life. So they can't be practical. Nothing really is mentioned about colour, so the answer isn't B, there's no vocabulary links. Which means the answer is C, that they're original. Why? And it's because she says he is an artist who has created objects of beauty, and here's the bit about originality, unlike any other. He is original, and that is our vocabulary link. And lastly, for question number 8, you overhear a discussion about the sport of snow kiting. What does the man say about it? Is it easier to learn? Is it more dangerous? Or does it require less equipment than other winter sports? Now this is a tricky question. And if you got this wrong, well, don't feel too upset, because it is a tricky question. First of all, he says he compares snow kiting to downhill skiing. He says, for downhill skiing, you have to book lessons, start on the nursery slopes and all that, which means that he suggests that lots of things have to be done before you start downhill skiing. And then he compares that, but with snow kiting, you just need a wide snow-covered area like a frozen lake or field, and you're off. In other words, you can start. So what he's doing here is that he's comparing not how easy the sports are, but what you need in order to be able to do those sports. So from downhill skiing, you need to have lessons. You need to start on the nursery slopes. You need to have ski passes. You need to, of course he doesn't mention ski passes, but you get the general idea. You need all of these things. And the contrast is that he's drawing is that for snow kiting, you don't need all of these things. You just need an empty space. And it's those needs which he refers to connects to equipment, even though specific items of equipment are not mentioned in the listing. So your question would be, an obvious question would be, a field isn't equipment, and nor is a lesson equipment. And I understand where you're coming from, so I'm on your side here, but nevertheless, equipment does link to your needs for doing these sports, at least contextually, if not in terms of vocabulary, and that's why the answer is C. Is it easier to learn than other winter sports? He doesn't say anything. He just says, like with all winter sports, beginners should err on the side of caution. In other words, be careful. Is it, and that kind of links to B as well. Is it more dangerous than other winter sports? He says all winter sports are the same in effect. So even if you consider this from the point of view of elimination, you still get to C as your answer. Tough question, I know. Okay, there we go. I hope you managed to follow me as I was explaining why I think the answers are the answers, and I hope that I wasn't speaking too quickly in my enthusiasm to try and explain. If, however, you have any questions at all or would like me to explain in a slightly different way, then get in touch. Leave a comment below. If you disagree with anything that I've said, leave a comment below and I will get back to you. And remember, if you're getting ready for your FCE exam, your FCE First B2 exam, and you're using one of the more popular books on the market, check out my website, CramTheExam.com. I might be able to help you out with those exam questions as well. Okay, I'll see you soon.